leaders, dreamers, changemakers, welcome to the Vibrant Living Podcast. Here, limitations shatter and potential explodes into a kaleidoscope of possibility. At the helm, Donna Tashjian, life mastery coach and founder of Vibrant Living International, weaves godly wisdom and Christian perspective into every step, empowering you to discover your purpose and light up your world. Here is your host, Donna.
Hello, my Vibrant Living community. This is Donna back with another amazing guest on the Vibrant Living podcast. Harriet, I have been chasing you and getting into to get you here. You are a busy girl and a lot of things going on in your life. Where do you live in the world? And tell us a little bit about you, if you will.
Yes, and Donna, you know what? I have to apologize because it has been a very busy season, but I do appreciate your diligence and I appreciate you being patient with me just working through my schedule. But I am in Texas. I've been here about 2 years. It's hard to believe. And a little bit about me. So, I am a mom, a wife. I have three children that I gave birth to and a bonus daughter. So it's a big old family. I am a speaker, author, a trauma-informed life and business coach. And I am also the founder of You Are Not Your Trauma, Inc., which is a nonprofit that provides tools and resources for people to help them to really deal with the trauma that they've experienced, help them to choose to heal, because a lot of us know that healing is hard, and but it's all about a choice. So that is what I do. I work with predominantly women, and my goal is to help people to choose healing over hurting. I tell my clients all the time that healing is hard, hurting is hard. You got to choose your heart. So that's just a little bit about me.
Wonderful. Well, it is beautiful to be in this space together and complement the work that we're doing in each other's lives,
Yes.
because there are so many of us. And the thing that is phenomenal about women, I know you'll resonate with this, is we make it look good.
Oh
We
yeah.
and we're hurting on the inside, but man, you ask me how I'm doing, and I've got my sass, and I'm doing fine, it's the real truth is in those quiet moments when we're by ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. That is
And
so true.
and
That's
so we're speaking to that woman that's strong, that makes it look good. Like everything look, I'm okay, I'm fine. I
hmm
jokingly say, you know what acronym for fine is freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Oh, listen, sometimes those are the moments.
And we've
Sometimes
all
those are
had
the
those
moments.
moments. And,
Yes.
we've been called, and we've had those moments when we're hot messes, and we've had those
Yes,
kind of moments
absolutely.
too. But I love it, Vibrant Living. Why I think we resonate so well is what I say Vibrant Living is I want to help people to heal. I want to help
Yes.
people to align, and I want to help people reign in who
Yes. I
God
love
called them
that.
to be. And it
I love
takes
that.
all of that,
It
because
does.
I don't know a single person that's walking around on this planet that hasn't been hurt, that we
No,
haven't
it's
had
not.
disappointment. And we can't compare levels of hurt.
No,
Your hurt was your
absolutely not.
hurt, and my hurt was my hurt, and it hurt.
Absolutely. It
Um,
hurt.
and so helping people to do that. But tell us more about what you're doing, and how was your journey in learning how to overcome your trauma to now where you're helping others do what some of the things you went through.
Well, okay, so I'll give you a how this started. I am a childhood trauma survivor. It took me about 30 years to really face what I was going through. You talk about that woman who's fine,
Mm-hmm.
but really she's not. That was me. I was the person who everybody looked at, they came to advice for. Um, and I used to think, God, why are these people coming to me? My life is not together. Like, but somehow a conversation with me would leave them feeling better, right? It would leave, but I couldn't apply that to myself.
Right.
So, but it took me over 3 decades to really face what I had gone through. And this is why I'm so adamant about when I talk to clients or my classes or, the people that I work with, is that, we can try to go over it. We can try to go around it, under it. We can try to squeeze through the side of it. But here's the thing. We're not getting
Yeah.
any of that. None of that is happening. We have to work through it. And I spent many years where I just felt stuck. Like nothing could work. I couldn't see a future. There were so many limiting beliefs that were clouding me. Um, and honestly, I went to a women's conference.
Mm-hmm.
It's called WOW,
Mm-hmm.
Women of Wellness, and it's in Philly. And my church actually sent me, and here's the interesting thing, okay? Because this really opened up the door. I'd already been doing a little bit of like mindset work and
Mm-hmm.
everything. I had been shifting how I was seeing the world and living really. But this conference was supposed to happen in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't happen until 2022.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, no. 2021 maybe. Whatever year was supposed to happen, it was supposed to happen during the pandemic. Now I can't remember. But whenever it was supposed to happen, it didn't. So the person that was supposed to represent our church couldn't go, and she pulled me aside one day and said, "Hey, can you go in my place?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So the chance to get away from everybody,
Mm-hmm.
get away, just really kind of take a breather, which as a mom, that does not happen very often.
Doesn't.
So I went to this conference, and I'm gonna be honest. When I started, I was like, "Oh, I've heard this before, and oh, I've heard that before." And there was a woman, and she walked in, and I love to demonstrate this, and I wish I had thought about it. But she walked in with like this big flower pot on her head, and she's walking through, but she's talking about the woman at the well,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she talked about how this woman was carrying all
Mm-hmm.
these things and so because of that, she felt like Jesus wasn't going to want to talk to her. And Jesus was like, "Look, I already know about you, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still here."
Right.
And she talked about, how we carry, all of the hurt, the pain, the all these, things that are burdening us and weighing us down. And I believe in that moment, I realized it was almost like something clicked, and something told me, "You've been just carrying all of this stuff. Why are you dragging this around?" And when I got back home, we lived in Tennessee at the time, and I got back home and I was fired up. Like after that, like kind of switch, I started being able to allow the things that were being poured into me to really be received.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I get home, and I remember walking out in my front yard and just throwing my hands up to the sky, lifting my hand up and saying, "God, I'm done. Like, I no longer want to carry this."
Mm-hmm.
It was a choice. It was a choice to let it go. And I remember feeling, I could literally feel the weight lifting off of me.
Yeah.
Because what I realized in that moment was that I had been carrying a burden that wasn't mine.
Yep.
What happened to me was something someone did to me, and it was never my fault, but I was embarrassed. I felt betrayed.
Right.
I felt the hurt, and I was carrying it around, and it was weighing me down, and it
Right.
was stopping me from being able to do all the things that God had created me to do. And I was just not, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, this is it. And so that was really, really kind of a turning point for me. And it was, I think that was like in April. Few more months pass, and I'm in the shower because that's where all the good stuff comes, all the
Mm-hmm.
good downloads. I'm in the shower, and I literally hear the words, "You are not your trauma." And I was like, "I'm not gonna miss this. I'm not gonna forget." So I get out the shower, grab a towel, grab a pen and paper, and I write this down. And I said, "God, what do you want me to do with this message? What do you want? Is this just for me?" First, I said, "Why are you just not telling me this?" because I could have used this a long time ago, right? But secondly, I was like, who is this for? Is this just for me? Because I was very familiar with God giving me downloads that
Mhm.
I was supposed to share with other people.
Right,
But then there were some that were specifically for
right,
Harriet.
right.
So I asked and I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Is this supposed to be a TikTok? Is it supposed to be an Instagram reel? Like, what is this supposed to be? And I took a couple of months to really kind of think about it. But the words, I mean, they were locked in. They were locked into my every fiber of my being because it started shifting how I saw myself. I recognized I was not defined by what went through. I was letting go, because it starts with the choice, but then there is that process
Mhm.
of being intentional. Okay, not holding myself accountable for things that I wasn't responsible for. Starting to look at the limiting beliefs and the belief system that
Yeah.
that pain created for me, and starting to rewrite my own truth. And that was actually in the same year, where I wrote my book, Stop Stopping Your Success, which is about the limiting beliefs and how we really are the ones who are in control of what we want in getting there or not, um, by our belief system.
Yeah.
So I wrote that book, but I also launched You Are Not Your Trauma podcast because that's what God told me. He said, you have to change the stigma around trauma.
Yeah.
He told me that my assignment was to share this message, you are not
Mhm.
your trauma, with people.
Yeah.
And ever since, that's been my goal.
That is so beautiful. One of the pictures that God gave me recently is I live in Michigan, and so I
Okay.
love to go to Lake Michigan, which is
Oh,
like
nice.
standing at the ocean. If, to get you that kind of picture, it's a humongous. The ocean is, I mean, the lake is huge. And I had the image of me standing with my cup that's overflowing with God's blessings
Mm.
before this water. And I'm sitting there so filled with gratitude for all of the goodness in my life. But he says God is a representation of the water of the ocean. And he's like, but I have so much more. There's so much more that I have for you. And our belief system is our cup.
Yes, yes, it
And what
is.
we have the cup, even though we're blessed and things are good, it can
Yeah,
get gooder. And that's not a
it
good
can
word.
get gooder.
It can get
I
gooder.
love it.
And so one of the words he spoke over is I want to expand your capacity to
Mm.
receive. Because do I deserve it? How much goodness is too much goodness? When do we start
That's a good question.
self-sabotaging ourselves and break relationships
Mm.
and stop and misspend or do something
Yeah,
frivolous that, or believe that something's going to break?
yeah,
We
yeah.
stop the blessings or where it's going to go because of our size of our cup. So that's like a constant prayer because the what Jesus paid for.
Mm.
It's astounding what our inheritance is. And one of the main
Absolutely.
prayers is that you could know his inheritance and receive
Mm.
it. And so when I look at water, when I think about my heart being filled with gratitude, it's like expand it that it's okay to feel good because feeling bad was normal.
Mm.
And so
I'm
learning
glad you said that. I'm
feeling
so
bad
glad you said
is
that.
normal. It was like, this is comfortable. It's awful, but I know it.
Yes.
But I
And
don't know what it feels like to feel good. And so when we get past our trauma, the other question, that was one thought, but I felt like I'm supposed to ask you this question. One of
okay.
the things that I've done when I pray with people and help people get over their trauma as well is I say, is there something that's stopping you from receiving God's love? And a lot of people visualize a
Mm.
wall. And so there's this
Wow.
wall, and I know he loves me, but it's not all getting through. It's like there's this
Hmm.
resistance of being able to receive his love. So I would say, if you peeked over the wall, what would it
Mm.
be like on the other side? So I'm going to ask you that, Harriet, because you've gone on the other side. If you
Yeah.
were back on the other side of that wall and you peeked over, how would you describe where you are today?
Ooh. How can I describe that? Oh my gosh. If the older version of me peeked over the wall, she would be shocked. She would be surprised that I'm so calm. Because one of my trauma responses was anger. I was raging anger, right? I didn't know it at the time, but that's what it was. But she would be surprised that I was calm. She would be surprised that, um, and I said this after I finished my first book, that I'm a finisher. Like, I start things now and I finish them. So that was a version of me that didn't exist because I used to think that, I think I thought things were too big for me.
Mhm.
Um, Again, a trauma response.
Mhm.
But she would also, I would say that that older version of me, I would say pre, the
Mhm.
conversation with God, she experienced some of God's great blessings. I mean,
Right.
really, I did. With my children, that's a whole nother story. Because I was diagnosed with secondary infertility after my first son. But again, whole nother story. But so she's experienced God's blessings, but I think she would be really surprised to see this version of me, the thought process, the way I think, the way I believe, the way I trust God, the way I'm willing to be obedient and move when He says move, even when the rest of the world is saying, "You look crazy. Are you sure you want to do that?"
Mhm.
So I think my faith walk would really surprise her.
Yeah, one of the words that I see when I look at you, Harriet, is peace.
Mm.
And one of the things that uh, I read it, I've said it so much now, it's become mine, so I can't remember where I read it, but is peace is not a feeling, it's a person.
Mm. I
Because
like
it's
that.
shalom. It's shalom. It's a person. And the more that you get to receive his love, and we can actually receive it, there's a calmness, there's a peace,
Yes.
I'm not disturbed when things don't go the way they were. Where we're used to, we could fly off
Right.
the handle and worry and freak out and all the things. But that calm peace, it's really hard to describe the change. I was
Yeah.
curious to see how you would do it because you were stumped for a little bit, and I am too, when I try to describe what would it be like if
Yeah.
I told my younger self to peek over the wall of who Donna is today, that I'm even standing on camera and talking to people and
That
not
too.
hiding in the corner.
That
I'm
too.
just busy serving God, but man, don't put me in front of anybody,
Hmm.
and the confidence and you can put me on any platform today, give me
Yes.
a little bit of a topic, and I'm off and running. And that wasn't the case. I was ooh, you know,
Yeah.
and all of the things. And so just and watching it continue, because the
Yes.
things since we last talked that even God has done in your life, and 6, 8 months ago since we met,
Yeah.
is watching God continue to show us. So once you peek over the wall, it's a continual journey, and it just keeps
It
getting
is.
better instead of
It
gooder.
does.
It just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
And so learning to do that. So if people want to decide that I'm not going to be my trauma anymore, how would they
Right.
get in touch with you?
Honestly, they can go to my website. It's www.harrietmharris.com. And it's like my link tree. You can see everything I offer. Two things that I'm really excited about and offering right now is one, my annual Ascend Healing Summit. So I host the summit. It's a healing summit. It's built around the six pillars of activate, strengthen, connect, empower, navigate, and dream. That's what ASCEND stands for. And our focus is to help people come from that dark place of pain, hurt, trauma, and ascend to the bright, beautiful other side, over that wall, for them to get there. And that summit is going to be September 13th, and it is in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. So it's actually in Denton, Texas.
Okay.
But if you got to fly here, you fly to Dallas. And that's one thing. And then I've also been teaching a trauma class, a trauma healing 101. I think I was teaching that when
Mhm.
you and I first met. And I had so many people when that class came to an end. It was a 10-week class. And when it came to an end, they were like, no, we can't. Like, I have to learn more. And I was like, y'all, give me some time. Give me some time. So I talked to God and I was like, okay, what do I do? How do I, keep people engaged and help them keep moving forward? And so now, as of Monday, actually, I'll be opening up my Heal Her membership. It's the Heal Her Circle where we will have monthly Q&As and conversations, monthly trainings. You'll get access to my I have it's a healing GPT. So it's called Haven,
Mhm.
and it is a custom GPT that I built so that you get the responses that sound like me. So I can't be everywhere for everybody, but if it's 2 a.m. and you need some help, you need some support, it's
Mhm.
going to lead you to journal prompts. It's going to lead you to meditation. It's going to lead you to a podcast that can kind of help you in that moment. But
Mhm.
it also kind of allows you to talk it out. Because I feel like sometimes that's what we need to do. That's kind of the start, is if you
Yep.
can start to get it out, to start to process it. So those are a couple of things that I have going on that are super exciting and just coming up. But everything that I do, if you want to email me or anything,
Awesome.
www.harrietmharris.com is the way to reach me.
Wonderful. We will have that link in the show notes and in the description for YouTube as well. Harriet, thank you so much for being the light and for doing what you're doing. I think we could chat all afternoon if we wanted
We
to.
probably could.
But thank you for being here today. I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
and I bless you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Well, Harriet is amazing, and I love to highlight all that she is doing to help women to heal and understand that they're not their trauma. So make sure you reach out to her and see all of her resources. And also, I am giving a gift today, my Renew, Recharge, and Thrive guide, as well as a wisdom consultation is always available if you would like to take it to the next level and learn how to activate your dreams, to just step into your purpose, to heal, align, and reign in Jesus' name. So thank you for sharing this with someone that you love and care about. And I look forward to seeing you back here again. Bye for now.
I hope your soul feels ignited, your spirit nourished, and your mind buzzing with possibilities. Share this with a friend who needs a dose of vibrant living. Tag us on hashtag Vibrant Living Podcast and tell us your biggest takeaway. For more support, clarity, and wisdom, visit Donna at iVibrantLiving.com. See you soon.